we sort of refer to it, a lot of people refer to it as, it's almost like a three-legged stool, for want of a better phrase. And at the top of that stool, the absolute best layer of protection, and often you'll hear specialists in the asset protection space talk about building firewalls. So I'm referring to as a three-legged stool. It could just as easily be referred to as building firewalls, and the very best one is actually best practice. So the easiest way to ensure that a person is not going to be exposed from an asset protection perspective is to make sure they don't ever do anything wrong. Now, I know that's a really easy thing to say and really easy to write up on the whiteboard. A lot more difficult to deal with that in today's environment, particularly in the environment where if you look on a per capita basis, and this is a couple of years old, I understand it's still basically the same. On a per capita basis, the three most litigious areas in the world are California in the US, which is probably not too surprising, New South Wales, Queensland, in that order. It's on a per capita basis, which is quite scary, but what it means that even if we are trying our level best to deliver on that best practice principle, there's every chance that something will go wrong at some point in time. So what are the other two components of this three-legged stool? Well, the next one hopefully is making sure you've got appropriate insurance in place. We won't deal with insurance at all in today's program, other than to note that it's a three-legged stool, and that's another real key component. If you've got a situation where you haven't delivered on best practice for whatever reason, and it might be a staff, a team member, an employee, it could just be a moment in time where you just weren't quite across the issues you need to be across. The insurance doesn't deliver, and the insurance I put an asterisk against because, and maybe it's a glib thing to say, the reality is that the insurance companies that are around still today aren't around because they pay out. They're around because they specialise in not paying out. So you've had an incident, the insurance isn't there. Well, in the third leg of the stool, it all comes down to your structure.